Now it's time to see who has a heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your fight. Now go out there and take it.
You lollygag the ball around the infield. You lollygag your way down to first. You lollygag in and out of the dugout. Do you know what that makes you, Larry?
Lollygaggers.
Lollygaggers.
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school, plus all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Takes a snap. He's rolling to his left. He's looking downfield. He's looking in the end zone. He throws a jump ball. It's complete. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
Join us this coming season for Athens High School football. Greg Young will bring you all the exciting play-by-play online at WKAC1080.com or on your WKAC Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device by saying Play WKAC Sports. Listen for the radio replays Saturdays at noon and check out the archives on the WKAC Sports page. Golden Eagle football from 1080 WKAC. Welcome to our first Best of Tailgate Talk for the summer. This week we'll rewind to a conversation with high-performance mental coach and national champion swimmer Seth Pepper. Then we go back and revisit an extended talk we had with Jack O'Halloran, probably best known for his role as Non, the non-speaking villain in the first couple of Superman movies. But he was also a boxer before that, and he's also got some very interesting stories as the son of Albert Anastasia, the head of the Gambino crime family. After that, we've got a return visit with former Tampa Bay center Randy Grimes. We wrap things up with a recent sit-down with Rocket City Trash Pandas manager Andy Schatzly. Before we get to all that, let's hand out some congratulations. Athens High and Athens Middle School Athletic Director Linda Moore was chosen as the Class 6A recipient of the AHSAA's Making a Difference Award for making an impact as an exemplary role model. The honorees from each classification will be recognized at the Summer Conference Championship Coaches Award Banquet, which will be held Friday, July 22nd at the Montgomery Renaissance Hotel and Convention Center. Lindsay Lane's Ray Anderson was selected as a pitcher for the North All-Star Baseball team. Kana Vining of ABS and Ardmore's Ella Singletary were also picked for the North All-Star Softball team. East Limestone's Louie Hosmer and Tanner's Arturo Diaz were added to the North All-Star soccer teams. The annual North-South games will be played in Montgomery during All-Star Week, July 18th through 22nd. Congratulations also go out to James Clemens Jack Mitchell for his golf commitment to the University of Alabama. We've got some youth camps going on over the summer. Athens High will have several of them. For more information on those, you can go online to acs-k12.org/camps. Calhoun will have a softball skills camp June 6th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for 3rd through 8th graders. Cost to pre-register is $50, but day of the camp is $65. For more information, call Bart Stevenson at 306-2983, or you can email him at bart.stevenson@calhoun.edu. Calhoun will also have a junior golf camp June 13th through 15th from 9 till 11 a.m. for ages 8 to 13 at Strike Zone at Point Mallard. Cost is $125 per person. For more information, go to the Calhoun Facebook page. Lindsay Lane will host a youth baseball camp June 13th through 15th from 9 a.m. until noon for kindergarten through 6th grade at their varsity baseball field on Sandifer Road. Cost is $100 with a $10 discount for each sibling. For more information, you can email youthsports@llcalions.org. The Bobby Sproul Baseball Camp will be going on June 13th through 16th from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Athens Sportsplex for ages 6 to 17. Cost is $125. For more information, call 205-886-6240 or 256-777-3980. Stay with us. The Best of Tailgate Talk will be right back after this. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Congratulations to the class of 2022. Your future is bright, and you need fiber-fast internet to support you as you discover all of your possibilities. Sign up now for Ardmore Telephone Company's fiber-fast internet, and you'll get the first month free. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss all of our internet options with you to help you connect to everything you need. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
Keep up with Athens and Limestone County sports with a Play Action Sports Report. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have our special guest. His name is Seth Pepper, mental performance coach and national champion swimmer. Wow, from the University of Arizona. Welcome, Seth.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
I asked Tim, I said, where do you get these guys from? He goes, Facebook. I'm Facebook friends with everybody. So tell us about Seth Pepper. I mean, we got to talk about the national champion swimmer, but tell us a little bit about the mental performance coach. How did you get involved in such a gig?
Yeah, it's quite a story. It kind of comes out. It sounds like a movie, but it's real life. I started my sport when I was 14 years old with just this idea. I wanted to go to the Olympics. And so it's been kind of a mental experiment and experience from the beginning. So yeah, I just took an interest in the Olympics, started studying the Olympics. Then I chose the sport based on what I could, have access to in my small town. And so basically from there, I walked up to the head coach and said, I want to go to the Olympics. Can you help me? And he said, do you know how to swim? And I said, no idea. And he started laughing. And so he put me with the little 8-year-olds. I'm 14 at the time. So, you can imagine being with second graders.
I bet.
But at the same time, my dad he wasn't an athlete himself, but he was always interested in self-development. So he had this book on, it was memory actually, but it talked about kind of the beginning of sports psychology. So it was all about training your mind. So it got me curious of okay, I can train my body, but then what I could train outside as well. I could train my mind when I'm not in the pool. And that's what got me started. And, really within 4 years, I became the state champion. And then from there, I went to, as you said, University of Arizona. By the time I was a sophomore, I was racing the Olympic gold medalist and beating him the entire race until the final stroke. So within 6 years, I'd gone from being this crazy dreamer to the real deal. So from there, I eventually won the national title a couple times my senior year, and also worked with my brother. He started even later. He started when he was about 17. And so I started doing with him what I do with people now, which is that remote coaching. And he also became a national champion. And so we're the first brothers to ever win the same national title in the same event in the history of swimming. So
speaking of event, which event was it?
Butterfly, 100 butterfly.
Wow,
yes.
Okay. That doesn't look like your head ever comes out of the water, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's you kind of have to have a good rhythm, and yeah, it takes some skill.
Well, you talked about you were beating these other guys up until the final stroke. Now, I guess that some mental strength comes in to be able to get over that hump too.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I try to coach from now, is about winning. You know, it's an interesting subject to be able to say, you know, from personal experience, that's what kind of puts me apart from a lot of others, is that I will actually go, you know, with the athlete mentally to go, okay, you've been second a bunch of times, you want to win, you know, and they'll of course say, yeah. Okay, well, it's a journey and it's something else, but it's well worth it. And so I was second my sophomore year. I was second my junior year. And so I needed to do something by my senior year. And finally, I'd figured it out. And, you know, it's an interesting place because you're trying to go to the top of this mountain that no one else is there when you win. And so I was fortunate. I had a coach that was a world record holder and also Olympic gold medalist himself. And so he was really the person that he was the one that got me curious of like, what's the difference between winning and losing, you know? And he kept saying, you know, you got to stop apologizing for your greatness, you know? And I was like, what do you mean? I'm training hard and, you know, I'm really putting it out there and I'm, you know, and he just said, no, it's something else. It's another level. And finally it clicked and I took it to another level, thankfully.
Who was your Olympic coach? I've got to ask.
Yeah, Rick DeMont, he, you know, he was a great swimmer and he was a great inspiration for me. So he was kind of the one that could take and speak from personal experience and then impart that into me. And he used to say things to me. He was an artist as well. So he kept things really simple, which is what I like to do. And he said, you're fast all the time. You're fast when you go to the bookstore. You're fast when you go have lunch. You're fast, you know. So he got my mind around this idea that I didn't have to just go to this competition and that was it. It was like, I'm fast all day long, right?
Yeah.
And that just, things like that it just brings it back home, you know?
Huh. I had a question in my mind and it went straight out. It was going to be probably the best question of the entire interview. And it just went, oh, I know what it was. Did you ever try out for the Olympics?
Yes, sir. I did, and so that's part of my story as well. First time. So one of the stories that I wanted to point out was when I first started working with my mind, I took this curiosity of the subconscious mind. Like we're used to the conscious, you know, the things that we're talking about all the time, the tip of the iceberg. But there's this thing that happens, like we're able to get in our car, and we're able to drive from point A to point B, and, you know, go to the grocery store and not even think about it once. Like, what is that? That's like, there's something going on there underneath the surface. So that's what I was trying to tap into. And so originally I went and got a Sports Illustrated, cut out the Olympian and put him on my wall. And then I put a picture of myself up on the wall. And, you know, I would think about it over and over. I was triggering this thought, you know, like, okay, he wants to see me go there and I want to go there. And, you know, all these kind of conversations, depending on the day, were going on in my head. But I was trying to trigger this over and over. Well, he is Pablo Morales. And when I won the national championship, he actually was the one at the ceremony that handed me the trophy. The guy from the wall.
Wow.
So, yeah. But the part of this story that's, you know, has a twist to it is that he did what I don't think's been done since even. He was in retirement. He came out of retirement and he beat me at Olympic trials to take the spot that I would have taken on the Olympic team. So I like to tell people, you got to be clear.
Yeah.
You got to be clear. So if you're going to put your idols on the wall, make sure you keep them retired because they can come back and bite you. So.
And you're talking about driving to the store and not even thinking about it. You know, you ever driven and then all of a sudden you come to yourself, wow, how did I get here? That's kind of scary.
No.
Yeah, but when people, you know, like I'm working with, you know, all types of different people, you know, all this different sports, but they'll be standing over a ball and they'll be thinking, okay, I got to do A, I got to do B, I got to do C. I'm going, wait, you can get in a car. It's a lot more dangerous than this game. And, you know, you can drive from here to the grocery store and back and not have one thought, but you're going to stand over this ball and think that you need to think yourself through this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's got to become second nature sooner or later.
Exactly.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Customers agree there's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee. If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings.
Hey guys, this is Joanna Clem for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. I'd like to personally invite you to visit CEI Bookstore. While you're here, you'll find a wide selection of Bibles, gift items, trustworthy study materials, and more for you and your church. Our friendly staff will be happy to help you with your selections while you shop in the store. We even offer personalized Bible imprinting and gift wrapping. Not in the Athens area? Enjoy shopping with us online at truthbooks.com. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
School may be out, but you can still enter your nominations for the Applebee's Athlete of the Week over the summer for the upcoming school year. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and fill out the form. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Enter your nominations today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC. We continue with our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC. Do you have like regular clients that you work with? I mean, I'm not going to ask any names or anything, but is that something that you do?
Yeah, definitely. I work with top professional athletes, multi-million-dollar careers. I work with top D1 head coaches. So, for I've worked with full football teams, I've worked with a lot of sales executives, and also I work with a Netflix film director. So,
oh, cool.
These are, yeah. So, and they all want to be coached the same way, right? So I was able to go over to Formula One racing, and I was on this interview there, and that's where the Netflix film director asked me, he said, could you coach me like you would coach a driver? And I said, sure. Yeah, let's do it. So what's the common element between if we're talking about athletics or we're talking about business or we're talking about arts, It's pressure, right? Like, how do we handle pressure? And that's what I'm trying to help people go through, because it's uncomfortable, but that's the way it is, right? So we have to embrace the discomfort. And so with the Netflix film director, there's a lot of pressure on set. Everyone's looking to him for guidance. So he's like the coach, right? And everything is pointed at him, and he has to handle that pressure and be clear of mind, right? Same thing with the head D1 coach has to do the same thing. So yeah, it's been interesting, very interesting to work with all these high people that have a lot at stake, Yeah. I've been working with, like golfers in particular. I've helped someone win a tournament, And that putt, that last putt, it was worth $200,000. If he misses that putt, that's $250,000 almost, right? That's high pressure, high stakes. And to be able to keep someone like in the pocket of where they're at, in your body, not in your heads. I mean, that's been a real honor to be able to work with people like that.
I was wondering if there was like a common issue that these folks have, and of course, it would be pressure, I guess.
That would be the commonality, absolutely.
Well, people will ask, what do you do? People like to ask that. So the quickest soundbite that I have is that I help people get out of their own way. I got this story. Someone contacted me. I did not know who they were. They said, "Can you have a call with me?" And I said, "Sure," just like we're talking now. And it was Monday, and he said a workout on Thursday, and so I said, "Okay, let's get to it." And so he's like starts telling me about what he's going through, what his challenges are, how he's gotten close to winning so many times. Turns out, he's a basketball player, and so I'm always listening for patterns. So there's a pattern of expanding, and then there's a pattern of blockages, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I don't judge anything. I'm just right there trying to be, attentive to what they're going through. So I felt like he was getting in his own way a lot. And so I gave him a tool to get around it. I only had 4 days, right? And so he goes to that workout and he contacts me afterwards, and he's all excited. He said, "I made it." And I said, "What do you mean you made it? I thought it was a workout." He goes, "No, it was a tryout. I'm in the NBA now." Yeah, so you see the effect that on Monday he's the same physical, ability. He's in the G League, the Gatorade League, the minor leagues.
Yep.
And then on Thursday he's trying out for the top team in the NBA. So they're only looking for the best of the best. And the only difference between Monday and Thursday was between his ears.
Wow.
That's cool.
And you got between his ears.
And you were the man that got him that big contract in the NBA. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's been really rewarding, and it's interesting to work with athletes and coaches in particular because they need something now. So I think the difference for me is that I've been to the battlefield, the athletic battlefield, and I've been able to go out there under pressure and fail, right, and then come back and figure it out, and then go back out there and maybe fail again, and then come back, figure it out a little better, and then go out and win. And so when I'm working with someone, I'm trying to just find out where they're at, and I understand the pressure. So it's not out of a book, or watching it on YouTube or something. It's out of consistency, right? And, we got to work on the little things for the big stuff to happen. And so a lot of times when it's under pressure, it's very, very, very simple. It's so simple that it's the first thing we overlook.
Well, now, I would think that the first thing that comes to somebody's mind whenever they would think about coming to somebody like you for help would be that they are not up to the level that they think they should be at. Now, do you run into people that, and I don't know if these folks would even come ask for help or not, but the folks who need to be reined in a little bit?
Yeah, that's a very good question. What I find is that when people go through disappointment, they start to, try and manage their expectations, and they get lower and lower. So to me, what I actually do is the opposite. Let's get the expectations up so that you get motivated, you get inspired, and then let's just handle, failure better. And that's what's missing. So, lowering your expectations never feels good. It's something that you try to convince yourself, I can do without, right? No, we want to be inspired. We want to go after something. We want to go for the gold. We want to go for the win. And that's, we need that. But we also need to be able to handle failure in a way where it's really super constructive. So when I'll start with someone, a lot of times they won't even say their goals. And I start with the goals. They might have said them when they were a little kid. Yeah. I work with NHL hockey players, for instance. And one of them, I remember talking to him for the first time, and this is before, and I was like, what do you want to do? And he wouldn't even say the letters NHL, right? Because he had been so disappointed for so long of getting so close. I was like, man, you got to say it if you want it to happen, right? We got to speak this into happening, right? And so through time, he started to get more and more comfortable with allowing himself to dream again.
Yeah.
And from those dreams, you start to feel those feelings. And then it's like, okay, let's connect the dots, because we got to fail, and we're going to fail a lot. And that's going to be the thing that actually feeds you, right? So like the ancient warriors knew, like, my courage is going to come through failure. And I'm going to need to go through the fire. And confidence is kind of the end result that everyone's kind of looking for. And so how do we get confidence? Well, confidence is earned. It's not something that you're born with. It's not something that someone hands to you. It's not something you necessarily read in a book. It might be helpful in a book, but you still got to go out there and earn it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do, is help people go through the fire.
Yeah. And, the older you get, the less realistic or reachable, I guess, those goals tend to get, and you reach a certain age. How old can you get before you and I know you're going to say never. You're never too old to go for your dreams, Yeah.
Well, I think, within reason, I think that there is no limit. We can start with a dream and maybe it changes. So I always start with a dream and go, okay, where do you want to go from here? So every time, I call it gardening the goals, right? So we go, first thing we do when we start talking is, okay, let's talk about our goals and say them out loud. If they don't fit, if they need to be changed, just like a weed, we'll pull a weed out and we'll put something in, put a different seed in there. And so, but I've had really great success. Like I work with this golfer, and he said, I finally want to win. I've been second, third. I've been for a very long time, and I didn't know what very long meant until he actually won. So this is a guy that he came up with, the ranks of like Phil Mickelson, like the big guys. And he was beating him back when he was younger. And then his mom had passed away, and that had actually changed his dynamic in his life. Yeah. And so he's never really the same. And so here he was living out his dream now. He was going for it. And he gave me 5 tournaments that were on our map to start with, and he won 2 of them.
Wow.
And the first time he won, he was like a little kid. It was amazing. He said, I haven't won since college. And he's 51 years old. So that's 30 years of not winning. Huh. And then broke the seal, and he went out and won, the next tournament as well. So,
wow.
I don't think you're never too old, but you might have to adjust depending on the sport, adjust the dream a bit.
Right. Yeah. And that's, 30 years.
30 years.
He hung in there too. A lot of folks would have just said, forget this, I'm going to do something else.
Exactly. Yeah, it was still burning inside of him. So it was nice to see him be able to see it. And, he was like a little kid holding the trophy. I mean, it was awesome.
Something I was kind of curious about, your name Pepper.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do Ancestry.com or not. Do you?
There's a lot of peppers around here.
I started to say, do you have any kinfolks around here? Because when we moved here, I was in the 4th grade, and I thought, man, there's a lot of peppers around here.
Not that I'm aware of, but I do know that I was related to, or, when he was alive, is Claude Pepper, the politician that came out of Florida. So that's all I know. I don't really, no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, quite possibly, but I haven't met a lot of Peppers in my life.
Yeah. Well,
it's always fun growing up when you're a little kid, and back then we had I'm a Pepper, the Dr. Pepper t-shirts.
Yep. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Yeah, well, I started saying
exactly.
around here, I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, we're a pepper, so that's kind of off the
it's all right. We get her
out of the blue question there.
Yeah. So. It didn't go to the honeybee section, so that's okay.
No.
So, I was fixing to say, how can somebody find you if they're, say, we got somebody here that's interested, and what is your website?
Yeah, it's just pretty simple. It's my name, so it's Seth Pepper. And when I'm talking to an operator, I always say it's Seth, S-E-T-H, and then Pepper, like salt and pepper. So SethPepper.com, and that's probably the simplest way. I am on all the social media platforms with the same, at Seth Pepper. So try to put it out there. And if you go to the website, I have a lot of the interviews that I've done. I like to, I'm an open book, so go ahead and get familiar if you want to, and listen to some of the interviews, and there's a lot of helpful instruction in those videos to get people started. So,
all right.
I love connecting with people, so please reach out.
Well, Seth, you just had 110 followers on Twitter. You now have 111. So
awesome.
Following you on Twitter there, brother.
We're taking off.
Absolutely. The sky's the limit, man.
Exactly.
Well, thanks again for joining us. It's been a good conversation, and everybody find Seth at SethPepper.com or at Seth Pepper on Twitter, and I guess that's the same for Instagram and everything else, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right, everybody. Yeah. Don't be a stranger. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Seth. Thanks, sir.
Okay.
That was Seth Pepper on the Tailgate Talk special guest segment. It's time to take a break. We'll be right back.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy.
Congratulations to the class of 2022. Your future is bright, and you need fiber-fast internet to support you as you discover all of your possibilities. Sign up now for Ardmore Telephone Company's fiber-fast internet, and you'll get the first month free. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss all of our internet options with you to help you connect to everything you need. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with a Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have a special treat, ladies and gentlemen, because I remember watching this movie as a young chap. The Superman movies had 3 villains. This guy right here, he was the one in the middle, looked like the enforcer of the group, played the character Non. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jack O'Halloran to the program. Welcome, Jack.
Hey, how you doing down there?
Man, we doing good. I'm excited. I remember watching this movie as a kid and end up in high school playing the theme in concert band. So, yeah, this has always been one of my favorite movies.
And I'm going to tell you, when I got Jack on the phone,
yes,
I really didn't know what to expect because, you know, you didn't have a whole lot of lines in those Superman movies.
I know, right?
I kind of like that, though. It was, you know, when we discussed doing the role, Non was a scientist, a brilliant scientist that they lobotomized as a punishment. And when they discussed the role with me, Richard Donner and I, and they talked about playing this character as a mute, I embraced it because Jackie Gleason was a friend of mine who did a picture called Gigo that he won an Oscar for, playing a deaf, dumb mute. Really? And I said, if I ever got a chance to take a character that I could do with facial and body expressions, you know, I would embrace doing that. And here we had, you know, General Zod was a vicious general, and Ursa was a man-eater.
That's her name, Ursa,
so somebody had to relate to the children, you know. So I took this character, this huge, brutish guy, and played him as a child, learning how to use his eyes and learning how to do things. And it seemed to work very well.
Well, I was wondering if it was originally meant to be a non-speaking role, but I guess it was then. Yeah. And I never did know about the lobotomy part of the equation there. That's a new one on me.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just knew he was, as Marlon Brando said, a mindless aberration.
Hey, talk about your boxing career. When did you start boxing? I mean, according to your wiki file here, you're 6'6". You're a big old boy, as they say down here.
Well, I originally was playing football, and I was in an era back in the '60s when you went from college to professional. You had to you couldn't play professional until your class graduated from college, which is a rule I wish they still had intact, because I think there'd be a lot less injuries.
Yeah.
Yes,
people would mature and grow better, And it was in the era when Joe Namath was coming from Alabama, and he was a Pennsylvania boy, but he played some pretty good ball down there in Alabama.
A bit.
And he was going up to the Jets, and I was in Western Kentucky, and I left after my freshman year because I got bored with school. Actually, I just wanted to play ball, and we played a pretty good conference down there. But the Jets picked me up right away, and we played on there was a semi-pro league, like a farm team on the East Coast that a lot of ball players that had left college and were headed for the pros, but had to wait until their class graduated. So we played in this league on the East Coast. We used to play like 2 games a week just to keep our levels up, And I was 6'6", and I weighed 280, and I ran a 4.640.
Good grief!
So I was pretty good. I could move around pretty well, And I was, so I went up when it came time to play, I was going to go to the Jets and play. And Philadelphia had a lot of friends of mine that were playing down there, Sonny Jurgensen and Tommy McDonald and a few other boys. And so I said to Eubank, I want to go down and give Philadelphia a try. And he said, yeah. He said, but you always have a home here. And so I went down to Philly, and then the team was bought by a young boy, Jerry Wallman, and he brought a coach in, Joe Kuharich, who was unbelievable. He traded a championship football team away in 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Jurgensen was traded, and McDonald was traded, and so I come out of a meeting one day with Timmy Brown, who was a pretty good running back, and Kuharich walked right past us like we were, statues in a hallway. And I said, you don't talk to ball players when you walk by or say hello or anything? He grumbled something. I said, listen, while you're out, trade me. And Ali had just won the title in boxing, and I knew some people in Philadelphia, and I said, I can beat that guy. What a great idea. They put me in the gym, and my boxing career ensued, but I couldn't box amateur because I was considered a professional, and in those days you couldn't do both. Today you can get away with that, but right. you couldn't back in the 60s. So I went in the gym and I trained, and I came down in weight to about 235, somewhere around, and 230, and I embarked on a professional boxing career. And I was like 16-0. And I went to do a physical one day, and the doctor said to me, you have a problem. I said, what do you mean I have a problem? He said, you have a tumor, and it's called acromegaly. I said, so? He said, well, it's not how you get physically or mentally up to box, because acromegaly, your body puts out 10% growth hormone. Mine was putting out like 150.
Oh, wow.
So it depletes your body. Andre the Giant had the disease, and a few other notable athletes had it. And he said, you got to get it taken care of or it's going to kill you. And I said, yeah, right. Can I fight or not? So I just went on about my business. But it affected me. If I had done what they said, it probably would have been a bit different. But I had a day job. It was in an era when you needed a day job for what I did at night. My father was a very famous Italian out of Italy, and he ran a little company called Murder Incorporated. He was.
We were going to get to that part because you put it in your book. So go ahead.
He had his own family called Anastasia, the Anastasia family, which turned into the Gambino family. And it was the Anastasia family. Gambino was an underboss to my father. And my father controlled all the waterfronts and the docks and stuff. And he really wasn't into the drug business. In fact, in The Godfather, when they approached Brando and they said, if we touch it, our children will touch it, it'll be the downfall of the families. Well, my father said that.
Really?
Wow.
He said, this is not the business we want to be in. And Frank Costello was of the same mind. And Costello had the political book, and he said, if we get involved in this business, we're going to lose our political contacts. And they, too many people other ethnic groups were involved in drugs, the Orientals and then the South Americans, and so they didn't want to give that money up, and it was all about greed. And so they assassinated my father in '57, and they tried to kill Frank Costello, and they missed, but he caused them to just sit down and retire, and Genovese was for the drugs, and other people were for the drugs, and then they started killing each other over them, and they have been ever since.
Right.
So what my father said was very true. It would be the downfall of the families because of the discontent and the greed and everything else. So, it's...
How much... I've seen The Sopranos and Goodfellas and the Godfather movies and all that. As far as you knowing what your father did, I mean, how aware were you of what he did, or did you just kind of have suspicions or find out after the fact, or what?
Well, he had put a minder around me when I was younger, and my father was, in 1943, 42, when they were looking for Albert everywhere, and he was in the Army as a master sergeant teaching soldiers how to be longshoremen down in Indian Gap, Pennsylvania. So he spent every night in Philadelphia, and he hooked up my mother. My stepfather was an aviator, and he was in the Army Air Force, and he was overseas. And my mother was a singer, and she made Jane Russell look like a boy. So her and Albert got into a love affair, and I was the product of it.
Gotcha.
That's how I came about. So then my father put a man next to me who was an Irish guy who ran the IRA on the waterfront, and he was also a top engineer for General Electric, and very, very bright man from Ireland, Rip Collins, whose brother was a big guy in the IRA Army, and so he looked after me pretty much, and taught me a lot of things when I was younger. And then when my father was assassinated, when I was 14 years old, I came under the link of Meyer Lansky and Frank Costello and a few other people, and they educated me into that world. And I got involved, and but when you got involved in that stuff, if you were smart, you had a day job to keep the law and order away from you.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And it's nothing more like you good old boys down there with moonshine and stuff,
Yeah, for sure.
And some of the activities of I knew quite a few people in Alabama, actually, in the old days.
Wow.
That's funny. You said that about. That's funny. You said that about being smart and having a day job, because in the movies nobody has a day job. They that's all they do. They run numbers, or
Well, a lot of that's where the bull comes in. In other words, you get if you play that game like that, then you wind up like John Gotti, a guy who's $900 million, and he went to jail because he wanted to be the Dapper Don and all that jazz.
Right.
The old timers, the real old timers lived in their neighborhoods. They took care of their neighborhoods. They had different companies they owned, and they had stores, and they had day jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the Jinko Olive Oil Company.
They had olive oil companies. My father had a lot of companies. He owned dress manufacturers. He owned a lot of things. day jobs, you know. And Albert never, I think he only went to jail. When he came to America back in 1919, and he was on the waterfront, and there was people down there that were trying to control this and control that. And he got into an argument with a guy one day, and they killed him, and they put him in jail, and he was scheduled to sit in the electric chair, and some people saw he had some great attributes, so they got a hold of Charlie Luciano, and they said, "You think you ought to get this guy out of jail because we think he'd be very advantageous to you for what you're doing." So they got him another trial, and of course none of the witnesses appeared, and he was set free. But they never. And he grew in stature, and he was. Albert was a no-nonsense guy, you know, and he lived by a code, and he believed in it, and he took care of business, you know, and they. But he just didn't want to get in the drug business, and you know, so they felt that that was against what they wanted. They wanted people to do, and he kept fighting it, and so they assassinated him because they were afraid of him.
Wow.
And then they tried to kill Frank Costello, and you know they hit him. Gianconti took a shot at him and just grazed his head. His hand or something moved when he was trying to shoot him, I guess, and it didn't work. But it caused Frank to realize that they were serious. They were going to, do what they were going to do. So he just retired. But I spent a lot of time with him, and I kind of liked him a lot, actually. He's a very smart man.
So when they retired, they were basically out of the business. They didn't continue to come after him.
They didn't go after him anymore. He just gave up a position, but he still helped a lot of people politically and stuff like that, until it got to a point where he couldn't do that anymore because they were making some people very angry about,
Wow.
That's great stories.
Wow. Things changed. A lot of things changed. And,
yeah. Well,
there were a lot of changes that happened and stuff. So.
In the movies, there's only one way to get out of the business.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Well, I don't know. There's an emerital oath that you take if you're accepted into the family as a young person, and you take an oath, and if you stand by that oath, then you're involved. But a lot of people that were involved in years ago went legitimate, but they still controlled the unions, and they still had powers of in a lot of ways that helped a lot of people. They did numbers in gambling, and gambling was always a big deal. And New York got into a lot of the drug business and stuff like that. Chicago actually went out and took over Vegas, and Meyer Lansky was into gambling, and they had Cuba and some other islands and stuff like that, casinos and things, and they did quite well, actually. Yeah. Now I don't know if y'all know this or not, but they are releasing The Godfather again on the big screen coming up soon.
Oh,
yeah. So we'll get a chance to go see it. I've got the collector series at the house. I love it. Watch it. But they're going to release it in the big screen.
Godfather was a great film, and so what we're doing is I wrote a book, and I've got 2 more books coming out, and I've sat down with some dear friends of mine that we've all lived through a lot of this stuff, and some of these guys have, like good old boys, man. They've done 30 years in jail and 35 years in jail because they wouldn't talk.
Really?
They did their time and stuff. They lived under their oath, and but they're tired of the mockery that's been done and stuff. So we're going to tell the truth about a lot of things.
Jack, can you hang on just a second and catch us, and we'll come back on the other side and continue this conversation? Will that be okay?
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Jack O'Halloran. We're going to take a quick break and come back on the other side, continue the interview. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Congratulations to the class of 2022. Your future is bright, and you need fiber-fast internet to support you as you discover all of your possibilities. Sign up now for Ardmore Telephone Company's fiber-fast internet, and you'll get the first month free. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss all of our internet options with you to help you connect to everything you need. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Keep up with Athens and Limestone County sports with a Play Action Sports Report. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net.
This is the Big 1080 WKAC Athens.
Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McClung here, Old Tomcat, alongside Tojo J. Vassar, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert. And we're going to come back with our man Jack O'Halloran here. Jack, let's talk a little bit about your boxing career. I was reading up that you were close to getting a match with Muhammad Ali.
Well, we were signed 4 different times. You know, he, like I said, boxing was a day job, and it gave me a chance to travel, all over the place. And I never sat in one place. It's the reason why they could never capture me somewhere or something,
Right.
But I took fights on like 2 days' notice because I could fight, and I had a pretty good ability. And I went to San Diego on a week's notice and fought Norton and actually beat Norton down there, and they gave him a hometown decision. But I won the town and stayed there and became California heavyweight champion. And Ali was he and I were pretty good friends, and he called me on the phone one day and he said, you got to do me a favor. And I said, I'll do you a favor. Sign a contract to fight me. And he said, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. He said, but I was fighting his brother, Rockman Ali. He said, you're fighting my brother, and I want you to get him out of boxing. And I said, get him, what are you talking about? I said, knock him out and get him out of fighting. Because he's not, he wasn't Ali, all right? And he was embarrassing him, so to speak. So I said, well, I better go in the gym a couple days. And I did. And I went and I knocked him out in the 9th round. And he never fought again. And Ali and I had an understanding and an agreement. But Kenny Norton was owned by some very wealthy people from San Diego. And they went to Chicago to Herbert Muhammad. And they put a few $1 million on the table. And Kenny Norton wound up fighting Ali instead of me. And and when he came out for the fight, he lost the first fight to Norton because he wasn't in the greatest shape, which was unusual for him. And he had a bad knuckle in his one hand, and he had a sprained ankle. He had a boot cast on. And
wow.
Anyway, but Norton got lucky. Norton got lucky and hit him with an overhand right, and he had a tooth taken out a week before the fight. And when Norton hit him right on the jaw by luck, he fractured the tooth next to it, and it was wrapped around his jawbone, and it broke his jaw.
Oh, wow.
But he went on it. He fought, the rest of the 10 rounds from the 4th round on with a broken jaw. And Freddie Pacheco wanted to stop the fight. Now he said, "You ain't stopping nothing." And he fought the 10 rounds, and I got him to the hospital afterwards, and he was, and we got him fixed stuff, and he was a great guy. I loved him a lot. He was in the hospital, and I was up. He said, "You got to come up here." And I said, well, "Yeah, okay." So I went up to see him, and he had a heavy bag in his room. I said, "What are you doing with that?"
In the hospital.
He said, "Stick around." He said, "Stick around." He said, "Watch what happens." And Norton came in, and Ali was arranging the fight to begin. And he said, they gave Norton a heavy bag. He said, "You better take that bag home and practice." So we had, we went through a few hoops and stuff, and I stayed in California. And when I beat Henry Clark, who was a pretty good fighter for the state title, and then I went into the movie business. They came and offered me a picture. Farewell, My Lovely. I went and had the operation done to fix the tumor. Because when I was in San Diego, I got very close to this doctor down there, and he was a good guy, and he was the commission doctor. And he said to me one day, he said, "If you don't go to Scripps and get a workup done, I'm taking your boxing license because this disease is going to kill you."
Oh, wow.
And I got it done, and he was right. The disease was rampant. And so I went to a place called Mass General, and they had a cyclotron proton machine that was like a laser that hit I was very lucky. I was one in 1,000 that it knocked the tumor out. Boom, first time out. Cool. Then your body had to adjust to it. So then I retired from boxing, and they came to me to do Farewell, My Lovely with Robert Mitchum, and so I blamed my career on Robert Mitchum.
Oh, yeah.
He was like a father to me. He was a great individual. And, he took me under wing and told me a lot of things about the film industry. And it just, went from Farewell to one film after another. And Superman pictures made us iconic. But we did King Kong and done some pretty good films actually in my life.
Yeah,
tell us about.
We're getting ready to do a mini series on the books of my father's life and my life. Everybody's kind of excited about it. So
I bet.
Tell us about you, Richard Kiel, getting Jaws in the James Bond movie instead of you.
Well, they came to me. They begged me to do that picture, and they flew over. They met me in L.A. my agent's office, and I was actually around the corner in a restaurant with Mitchum. It was his birthday, and I was getting him toasted. And I said, I got to go around the corner and meet these people from England. They come over here for me to do this Bond picture, and He said, "Did you read the script?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You like the part?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, then tell him to go to hell." I said, "Well, I'd be courteous if I went around and said, look, I was kidding. I'd already signed to do a picture called March or Die with Gene Hackman and Catherine Deneuve and some other good people. And I went around and said hello to these people and and they said, "Well, we really want you to do this, blah, 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 blah." And I said, "Well, I'm already under contract to do a picture." And I could have gotten out of it and done the Bond pictures. But I really didn't want to get stuck in playing just some big dumb guy and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
And so I turned it down. And Richard Kiel, I turned down 6 pictures. Richard Kiel did them all and made his career.
Hey.
God bless him.
Hey.
You know.
So the Longest Yard movie?
Longest Yard, Bert came to me. He said, "You know, we're doing this picture," but I was doing a movie somewhere, and I said, "Well, I just don't think I can." And I would have liked it. It was a pretty good script. I wouldn't mind doing that. It wasn't too bad. But again, it was just playing this kind of character that I was trying. And then the one picture that I turned down that I wish I had was Silver Streak.
Oh, okay.
With Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder, yes.
And I was doing King Kong, and we had a break while they went to New York to shoot stuff in New York. We were free for several weeks in L.A. and it gave me a chance to go to the beach and, you know, pick up on my tan and stuff. And they wanted me to go up to Seattle and do this picture. Paramount came and they said, "Boy, we really love you to do this movie." And King Kong said, "We'll release him, but you have to have him back to finish King Kong." There were scenes that I had to do to finish that movie. And I should have went and done it. I'm sorry I didn't, because working with Pryor and Wilder would have been a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But Richard Kiel did that, and he did. It was 6 movies altogether. You know, God bless him, made his career. You know, so. But I was doing it, and it worked out well, because when I was doing March or Die, we were offered the Superman movies.
Awesome.
And the Superman movies was a much better deal for me than the Bond movies.
So we talked earlier about The Godfather, but you actually worked with Brando in the Superman movies. Did you two interact? Did you get to talk to him or anything?
Oh, Marlon and I were great friends. Marlon was a New York guy, and he knew my father, and he knew who I was, and he couldn't wait to meet me.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Come on. Mitchen said, "Go down, say hello to Brando and tell him I said hello. He's on his way over there." And I went down to see him when he first came on the set, and he was surrounded by media people and stuff, and he saw me, and he just ran right through the showroom. We started chatting. We became pretty good friends. I liked Marlon. Marlon was an incredible actor. I mean, he was just a neat person. He was different. Marlon was a hoot. I had a lot of fun with him. He was. I'll tell you a funny story. I went down on the set to watch him work one day, and he had cue cards all over the place. I mean, my God, you know. But he did something I never saw another actor get away with. He was getting ready to do a shot, and the camera guy said, "Oops, got a very bad noise. We gotta fix the camera, and you gotta come back and do this again." And Brando said, like hell, he said, "I'm here now." So he turned around. He said, "Fix that camera and tell me when you got it fixed." So they did, adjusted something, and they said, "Okay, we're ready." He turned back into the shot, and he finished the shot.
Wow.
And I never saw anybody get away with that before. So then he came down off the set, and I asked him a question. I said, "You know, I guess a lot of people would be nervous asking this, but, you know, here's the deal. What's with the cue cards? Are you that bored with the industry that you got to have, you know?" "Oh, no." He said, "I started that with Mutiny on the Bounty because I didn't want the camera to make it look like I had studied a script. I wanted it to look like I was taking words out of the air." And I looked at him. I said, "You know, you're so full of it." And he laughed. He was a great Shakespearean actor. And he sat there and he ripped off a couple parables of Shakespeare, word for word. And he said, "That must know word for word." He said, "This other stuff, piece of cake." He was just, but he had such a charisma. I mean, when Marlon walked on the set, you could hear a pin drop. And he was very professional. He said hello to everybody. And Mitchum was the same way. A lot of the older actors were like that. They never showed up late. They were always on time. They were very professional.
Tell us
it was a pleasure working with Brandon. Brandon was he was a hoot. He only worked 11 days on the picture. He worked the first 11 days so they could get the money to, when they had the footage of him, they went to a bank. He got the money for the rest of Superman. So they needed to get him on. They needed to get him on film.
Wow!
And he went to dinner. They were working about 4 or 5 days, and they went to dinner with Peter Spangler and the Salkinds and all, and Richard Donner, and they got into a discussion about the work day. And Marlon said, we're really working kind of hard here, guys. He said, maybe we should take a day off. And Richard Donner was saying, yeah, well, we can look at the schedule. And they're kicking Donner under the table because they needed to get all the footage on Brandon they could so they could get to the bank. And Salkind said, oh, no, Marlon, we can't afford to take a day off. And Marlon said, how much it costs production for the day? And they said, about $350,000. And Marlon looked at them and Pierce Spangler, and he said, take a day off, I'll pay.
That's great.
We all almost fell off the table, They had just paid him $4 million to work 11 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
and he was that kind of humor, though. Of course they didn't take the day off, but he was just, that's the way he was. I liked him a lot. I liked Marlon quite a bit, actually.
That's great. Mr. Jack, we've wrapped up our time, my friend, and it's so good talking to you. I'm going to look up and find your books. I can't wait.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. Family Legacy is pretty cool. It's quite a good story.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, where can we get the book? I'm sorry.
You go right to Amazon, or if you email me, I'll send you I'll send you a copy on email.
Okay, sounds good. We'll definitely find out what you're.
Email me. You got my email address?
I don't, but I've got a pencil that I can write down right now.
That's Movieland Properties, all one word. Movieland Properties with an S on the end of it, at gmail.com.
Awesome.
At gmail.com. Is that properties?
Yeah, send me an email and I'll send you some stuff on the book. You'll like it.
That'd be great. Email will be coming. Thank you so much, Mr. Jack.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, guys. Y'all have a good time down there now. You hear me?
I hear you, brother. Y'all come back now.
Y'all come back and see us real soon now. You hear?
Yes, sir. We'll bring some pintos and cornbread. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888.
Takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the far side. He's going to throw it off his back foot deep. He's got a man. Touchdown! James Clemens!
Be listening for James Clemens High School football this coming season as the Jets take on the best in Class 7A competition. You can hear every featured game streamed live online at pasnetwork.net, on your Amazon Echo device, or on your Play Action Sports app, and later on demand. You can also hear the replays Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Join us for exciting coverage of James Clemens Jets football this coming season from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Returning back to join us here on the Tailgate Talk is former Tampa Bay center Randy Grimes. Randy, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Man, we enjoyed the conversation last time. We were at someplace we had where were we? Elkmont Car Show, right. And we had, if I'm not mistaken, we had like 4 or 5 huge wasp nests around there. So we were kind of distracted a little bit. But we're glad you're back on the show with us.
Well, man, thanks for having me. How's it going up there?
It's going good. We're
decent weather.
Decent weather. It's back and forth. We went from 70 one day to 2 inches of snow on the ground the next morning. But so other than that, I mean, it's not. You're in St. Pete. That's right. That's what
I'm in St. Pete, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not.
We're not having St. Pete weather. No.
Well, St. Pete's where we all come to die. You know, if you can't tone it, tan it. Right?
There we go, brother.
Like that.
Love it.
My daughter lives down in Naples, so yeah, I get to go over there every now and then. Yeah. On that coast.
Good.
So I want to ask you something on a personal level here, since we're talking about weather and things like that. With all that you've been through, and you've lived in St. Pete, or at least in that area for quite a long time now, correct?
Right.
Okay. Do you feel like that weather makes you feel better, not just mentally but physically as well?
It's funny you bring that up, because there's something about water and palm trees for me.
Yeah.
You know, that just kind of eases everything, relaxes me, and it's just, that's kind of that Florida vibe. You know, I'm a Texas boy.
Yeah.
But that Florida vibe is just the water and those palm trees and things like that. You know, just kind of it calms me. You know?
The sunsets on the East Coast of Florida are amazing.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Well, yeah, actually, that would be on the West Coast.
The West Coast?
Yeah,
the West Coast.
You're talking about sunrises on the East Coast.
I'm getting my East and West mixed up. I know where St. Pete's is on the West Coast. And yes,
I can't take you anywhere.
You can't take me anywhere, Randy. I go down there. It's not like I don't know the state. I just my compass is backwards, I guess. Now, have you written another book, or is it a memoir of addiction, recovery, and redemption in professional football? Is that the one you're still?
Yeah, that's my only book. There won't be another book. Let me tell you, this has been a long process, but it really turned out great, and I'm so excited about it. And the cool thing about it is that my whole family had a platform in it. They had a part in it, and it was a healing process for the Grimes family.
And great for you, dude. I mean, God's grace is something, and it definitely shined on you.
Yeah.
Being able to be where you are right now.
And to take what you went through and now share that and mentor other people that are going through the same thing, that's what's, just incredible about it. You didn't have to do that. I mean, you could have, just written a book and let people read it and be on their own, but instead you go out and do motivational type speaking and other things and counsel people, and it's just incredible, man, to follow your journey and what all you're doing.
They say you can't keep it unless you give it away. So
I like it.
That's what we try to do, and try to tear down that stigma that keeps people from raising their hands and asking for help.
Yeah. Well, and being a big old football player,
big old
and
Texas
all that,
boy.
Yeah, that stigma. Being a Texas boy at that, that stigma, I'm sure weighed heavy on you for years and years. You don't want to be that guy that reaches out, when you're in the locker room hurting, or years after you're retired, and you've got things going on physically and mentally, and at what point did you just go, look, enough's enough? I've got to do something.
Well, it took my wife telling me that she was going to have to leave because she couldn't stand me. She couldn't sit by and watch me kill myself every day. It took my daughter not letting me see my first grandchild because I wasn't fit to be around her new baby. It took the death of a teammate that I played with many years here in Tampa. It took some health scares like multiple seizures and stuff like that. It took all that to get me to raise my hand. And, that's for many years, I thought I was the only one out there suffering like that. And, because of the guilt and the shame, and all those things, that I never would raise my hand.
Yeah.
And I finally did in spring and summer of 2009.
And after you raised it, you're probably surprised about all the amount of other people that were in that same boat, not just football players, but all walks of life as well.
Oh, my gosh. When I started going out and telling my story, hands started going up all over the place. And especially guys that I played with and against. I was going out sharing my story with them, and they were coming out of the woodwork. And these are former NFL players who, had lost everything because of addiction or mental health issues. And, they thought they were also the only ones out there suffering like that. So, I mean, it's been a real journey, that's for sure. And it's almost like God was preparing me all those years in the NFL to do the work that I do now.
Back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Customers agree. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Shotgun formation, two backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to the second man through. Touchdown!
Join us this upcoming season for Limestone County football, streamed right to your computer or mobile device on the Play Action Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo by saying, Alexa, open Play Action Sports. Listen for the replay of select games Sunday afternoons on WKAC and download each game from the archives anytime you want. Also available on all major podcast platforms and in the podcast section of the Play Action Sports app. Limestone County football from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC. You talk about your story, and for those folks who may be coming in late to the story here, all this kind of started with the painkillers you had to take while you were playing in order to play.
Well, and I always say I was that guy willing to do whatever I had to stay out on the field. And, you didn't want to get a reputation of always being in the training room or always on the injury report or always missing practice. You didn't want to be that guy. So, I took painkillers every day to practice through the injuries and play through the injuries. And, I played in an era where, we practiced hard. We beat the heck out of each other all week long. And then hopefully there was enough left in the tank to play on Sunday. That was the coaching mentality back then. Now it's a lot different. They hardly ever put on the pads during the week, and guys are having fewer injuries and longer careers as a result of it. But, back in my era, that's how we did things. And, I was willing to, I justified it by wanting to be the best center that ever played the game. Having a long career, I wanted to be a Pro Bowler. I wanted that next big contract. I wanted to feed my family. Those are ways that I justified what I was calling a necessary evil. What it really was a full-blown addiction.
Yeah, well, but at the time, you probably didn't even recognize that, right? You were just doing what you had to do to stay on the field, feed your family, and play the game, right? Or while you were playing, did you know, like, hey, man, I am getting into something here I don't need to be getting into? Did you ever have that feeling?
Well, the last couple of years of my career, I was playing games in complete blackouts. I mean, I was taking so much medication before the game that, and here I was, the quarterback of the offensive line, changing blocking schemes, getting guys going in the right directions, listening for audibles, making audibles, and doing all that in a blackout. So, yeah, I knew the last couple of years that it had progressed to something that was bigger than me, but I couldn't stop it at that point.
Wow.
Now, your website, randygrimesspeaks.com, I've got it pulled up, and be good for everybody. Get over there, order the book, and if you're listening far,
you
if you're listening,
you don't have to have an addiction. You don't have to be having issues because either you know somebody that is, or you potentially might be that person.
Yes.
Everybody, no matter where I go and speak, and I ask people who has been affected by addiction in any way, every hand goes up.
Yeah, Todd and I were mouthing, talking back to each other. No worries, Todd. That's good. Yes, sir. It from any member. We've had who's the lady that you know her? Cindy Feasel. Cindy Feasel. We've had her on there on here talking about that with her husband.
Right.
Grant.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'm certainly not asking you to name names by any stretch, but what do you think the percentage of players back in your day? Because, like you said, the game's changed so much since then, but were, I guess, for lack of a better word, abusing pain medicine, whether it be just getting the shots in the knees or the pills or whatever. It was probably 50% or higher, I would think, right? Back then?
Yeah, at least 50%. Nobody puts more pressure on themselves to get back out there sooner than they should than a player does. But also, front office people, general managers, they're putting pressure on the training staff, the medical staff to get guys back out there. Head coaches are putting pressure on the medical staff to get guys back out on the field. But, it comes down to players. Players are the ones that put more pressure on themselves because, listen, you know what the NFL stands for, and that's not for long. So if you're not out there in your position, somebody else is going to be, and you don't want to let that happen.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What's some of your speaking services or speaking engagements that you have coming up?
I'll be in Dallas next Thursday night speaking. I've got an event down in Fort Lauderdale in a couple of weeks that I'll be speaking at. And, those are always great. It's great to get out and share your story because, like I said, we're not going to arrest our way out of this pandemic that we're in. We're not going to legislate our way out of it, but we can educate. And the more opportunities I get to speak and educate people on addiction, that I always say when communities get well, families get well, and when families get well, addicts get well.
Yeah, that's great. And you bring up a good point about the pandemic with that, the situation we've been in the last couple of plus years. Your services are probably needed more now than ever because people that were already struggling with those type things just got probably deeper and deeper into it.
And you get isolated even more.
Yeah, because you're isolated even more and you don't have those resources to be able to help pull you out of it. So have you seen an influx of calls or just emails? Just, I'm sure you get that all the time, just questions here or there about, hey, what can I do for my family member or my friend?
Well, all the time. And what I was referring to was the pandemic within the pandemic, and that's addiction.
Yeah, that's addiction.
When you're losing 100,000 people a year, we're losing an entire generation of young kids right in front of our eyes, and we can't stop it because of all the fentanyl that's coming in and the overdoses
like with
that are
Army football players this last week. Did you see
Just
that?
last. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
That was such a sad story.
So when I talk about the pandemic, I'm talking about the addiction pandemic within the pandemic.
Yeah.
And what's the one thing we tell everybody not to do with addiction, and that's to isolate. And that's the one thing everybody's saying to do with the other pandemic. So, it's a no-win deal. And people have been cut off from their support groups and everything else, and trying to do everything online, and that's just so hard to do. There's not that personal touch, and it's been a very trying 3 years, that's for sure.
Well, Randy, we're glad to have you on. Now, before I go, I don't know if you can remember the quote you had, but I cannot remember it. But it was monumental to me when I read it. Something about God pulling you out of hell, or tell us that quote before we let you go.
God had plenty of opportunities to open the gates of heaven and let me in. What he chose to do was open the gates of hell and let me out.
Absolutely, brother.
That's great.
And praise him for that.
And that's for sure. Yeah. Hey, and you can go to offcenterthebook.com or Amazon, either one, Amazon.com. And or find me at proathletesinrecovery.org or randygrimespeaks.com.
All right. We'll encourage people to certainly do all of that.
I'm writing the website down. My son was a former college football player. He never had to take pain medication, but he dealt with concussions. So that may be a good birthday present or Christmas present for him.
Well, and I talk a lot about transitional trauma when we don't have that uniform to put on anymore. We don't have that playbook to look at. We struggle sometimes.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Well, brother, thanks again, Randy. We appreciate your time, and God bless you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for this opportunity.
Take care,
Safe travels. Ladies and gentlemen, Randy Grimes, former center for Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day.
Special guy.
Special guy. Great interview. Time to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Need custom screen printing or other promotional products? Got You Covered Screen Printing and More in Athens is, well, got you covered. Screen printing, promotional items, stickers, graphic design, vinyl for signs and garments, and other customized products. They also offer local pickup and delivery services, rush orders, volume discounts, and can customize any project to meet your needs. Got You Covered guarantees to get the job done and will work hard to make sure you're completely satisfied. Call today, 444-4500, or stop by and see them at 38 289 West Sandifer Road in Athens. Got you covered screen printing and more. Check out the WKAC sports page. Go to WKAC1080.com and click on the WKAC sports icon. You can listen to the current sports stream as well as game archives, past coaches shows, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk on demand. If you're on your smartphone, you can stay automatically updated as new items are posted. The WKAC sports page. Another reason why your best source for Limestone County sports is WKAC1080.com and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We're honored because last year we could never get the manager here to talk to us, but, buddy, the first time Andy Schatzly, the Trash Pandas manager, is on the Tailgate Talk for the inaugural interview. Thank you, dude.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Can you call the Trash Pandas managers dude?
You can call me. I've been called a lot worse.
As long as it ain't late for dinner, man. There you go. So I was just telling, this is how good a manager Andy is that he told that pitcher last night in the top of the ninth to throw that tater to get the score tied so they could win in walk-off fashion with a grand slam. He told Trey Cabbage, it's good. We got just relax, man. I know. You're up fourth. You'll be able to hit a grand slam. I'm just playing, Coach.
If you could,
great win.
If that was possible, if you could find a way, if you've got the methods on how you actually do plan all those things out in advance, and you let me know, and I won't need to do this for a living anymore, too, so that you guys won't have to do this.
Well, you know how fans are. We all know more.
Yeah,
than
we
the
know
coach
more than the
does.
coaches.
Everybody. That's the origin of. I've been called a lot worse. That's where that comes from.
So, how important is it? Like, obviously, it's important to have talent. It's important to get good players in, but how important is it to have tough competitors, people who want to be out there competing for those entire 9 innings?
It's vital. I mean, I don't think the margins are so tight in this industry. Everybody's good. Chattanooga's good. Yeah. Birmingham's good. I mean, you're talking about the best of the best, top 1% of the world. So everybody's going to be talented. Mm-hmm. So the nature of your process and the level of your competitiveness is really what's going to determine, how your results end up panning out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So last season, this is your inaugural season with the Trash Pandas.
It is.
What do you think about the area, and talk about where you were the last couple of years?
Well, I'm from the South, so you got to be. I started to make a joke about using the word inaugural, but
well, I did not going to say first annual.
It is. God, yeah. I'm from Arkansas.
Where's Paragould?
Paragould is in northeast Arkansas. It's about an hour north.
Other side of the state of Fayetteville.
Yes, about an hour northwest of Memphis, so close to Jonesboro, Arkansas, right on the river there. About 10 miles from the Boot Hill, Missouri.
Duck country.
It is 100%. Light and Walnut Ridge and all that is.
Orange feet, green head, duck country.
That's it. So from Arkansas, live in north central Arkansas now, and was in Pasco, Washington a year ago. So was in the Pacific Northwest and Northwest League. It's a long way from everywhere, much less Arkansas. So
that's cool. But I guess that's it. What's your first impression of Huntsville?
Sorry, that's the second part of the question. I love the area. Love having a chance to be closer to home, but more than anything else, just love the people here. The fans are incredible. The front office and how everything runs here is incredible. The local media is incredible. Winning helps that too. It
does.
We've been fortunate to get off to a good start. But no, it is. We are. I've said this before. Happy to serve wherever the angels send us.
Yeah.
But for me and my family, selfishly, we're excited that we get a chance to do that in Huntsville, Madison this year.
Now, I think Aaron told us earlier, but all of the early round draft picks are pitching for Rocket City right now, right? Most of them.
We've got a lot of them, and it's it's indicative of the level of talent that we have on our pitching staff. But two, super impressive that a lot of these guys were playing college baseball a year ago.
Yes.
Brett Carey, Kai Bush that'll go tonight, Bryce Teodosio that's playing center field for us every day. This time last year he was playing in the ACC tournament. And
that's a big jump from college to
it is a
Double
massive
A.
jump. People don't realize how big of a jump it is.
Yes.
And what these guys have been able to do and how competitive they've been with how tight the margins are is really just a compliment to their character and to their ability.
Yeah, so and another thing is I think you've got a pretty good mixture of guys who've been in the league for a little while, and
Right.
they know what the expectations are, and the young bloods as well.
Right.
So talk to me a little bit about how that dynamic has worked out, because I know you have Palmero, who's been in the league for a good while
Right,
now.
and that's a very, very keen observation, and honestly, the key to us getting off to a good start. Young guys have done an incredible job of providing some depth and hanging in there, and really following the leadership of the Preston Palmeros, of the Trey Cabbage, of the Aaron Whitefield. Sean McLaughlin, that pitched in relief last night, is a veteran guy. So we do have a good mix. There's not a lot of guys in the middle. It's a lot of guys that have been around the block a little bit, and those guys have done an outstanding job of leading. But leadership, a lot of times you're only as good as the people that you're leading, and the young guys have done an incredible job in their role also.
Absolutely. And another thing I noticed just by looking at the roster is there's not a single player on the team, just because that's how professional sports works, that's actually from Alabama. Like they're all from other parts, but y'all are such a fabric of the community now. Just talk to me about how it is relating to the Huntsville area and to the fans when you've been up in Washington, even though you're from Arkansas. You have players who are from Australia, like Whitefield.
Right. I think people are people, and I think regardless of what side of the globe you're on, people can care, or people can tell when you care, and people can tell whenever that care is genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people feel that from our players. They have a genuine care for upholding the brand, and people bought a ticket every night, and it's important to these guys.
Yeah.
And they can also feel that type of energy or vibe reciprocated from the fan base here. So for me, it's just about the authenticity of caring about the product that's out there, and I think that a lot of times that goes both ways. Very, very good observation on your part.
I appreciate that.
Well, he gets paid to do it for a living. We just do this volunteer because we ain't got nothing to do on Saturday morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm just playing.
We cover the Havoc too, and you're talking about players coming from all over. They got guys coming down from Canada down here. And, from what I hear, a guy plays here and then maybe gets called up to the ECHL, and he kind of is of the mindset, well, I kind of liked it better in Huntsville than I liked it wherever he is now.
It is any enjoyment I think anybody ever has. Your enjoyment level is going to be indicative of with whatever people you're doing, whatever the activity is with, and that's the best part about the area. It's the area's great, the facility's great, the people are better.
So the Angels, they're probably taking a good look at y'all's success this year so far.
You would have to ask them that question.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I don't do. I am extremely, for those of you that don't know our general manager at the top of this paradigm, Perry Manassian is a incredible GM and a better person. He is. It's not an elitist vibe from him at all. He is the grinder of grinders. He started out as a clubby, and
that's interesting.
He is one of. It's easy to stay committed if you care about the players. It is even easier to show up and grind every day whenever you have a leader at the top that is grinding harder than everybody else. So,
right.
He and Joey Probinski, both our farm director, are just off the charts with their process and how hard they're working, and it makes it easier for everybody else to fall in line. Because of that, I make sure that I don't speak for them.
No, I hear you.
If you want to know how they feel about this here, then you'll need to get Perry on.
Yeah, really, what I was just meant is that I would assume that they're pleased with the way y'all played so far.
I would hope so, and it's pleased with where we're at, and also know that there's still improvements to be made. Also, at the same time.
Absolutely.
You're from Arkansas. You understand the Southeastern Conference.
I do understand it.
Winning puts booties in the seats.
It does.
Alabama, Auburn. If neither one of them's not winning, then there's issues. And,
nobody's happy.
Nobody's happy. Arkansas's winning. They played good football this year. So winning puts booties in the seats. And congratulations, sir. You've done well this year.
Thank you. They've done well. They've done well.
Absolutely.
The players have been off the charts, and there's. It's what I'm excited about the most is we have gotten off to a good start, but it's a long season, and there's going to be ebbs and flows to this thing, and the character of our club is what I think has got a chance to hopefully extend the good streaks for a little bit longer and hopefully shorten the tough streaks a little bit shorter.
Now, do you like the 6-game series, or you like it split up like they do in the majors?
You think the commissioner's office is listening this morning? I hate the 6-game series. Okay. I hate it. I like it from a support staff standpoint. I like it for the rhythm that it provides for the grounds crew. I like it for Aaron and what those guys do because it's one prep a week. It's kind of got a football rhythm to it. I do not like playing the same team 6 times in a row. I don't like it. I think they're asking for trouble. I think you're asking for trouble with the umpires. I think you're asking for troubles with the opponents. I enjoy the rhythm of 3 or 4 game series. But nobody asked me what I thought whenever they made the schedule.
Because that's what I was thinking about. You get into it with a team, you start baiting, and all that.
It could go real
a lot of different things into play. However, I think the conveniences for travel and logistics and for scheduling and all that type of thing. Yeah, I think the conveniences far outweigh the detriments on their side of things. But if they were to ask me, no, I do not like it.
I hear you. So, just going back to talking baseball, you said that obviously there's still improvements that have to be made. What are some of those improvements that you'd like to see as y'all, kind of approach the midseason form?
That's never going to stop. I mean, even if we, regardless of whether we're 16-9, you said, so we're 25 games in. I mean, even if we're 25-0, there's going to be places that you could always be a little more efficient. I mean, we were incredible in the bullpen last night, with the exception of one pitch.
There was
a couple base running things the night before that we'd like to have back. There's always defensive positioning stuff. There's always pitch calling stuff that you're always trying to tighten up. And the way I phrase it is you're trying not to leak oil. And so there's utopia, I guess, that doesn't actually exist whenever you're completely efficient, but that's always what you're striving for.
I hear you. And so you mentioned that you're a huge routine guy. You're a huge just staying in your routine guy, and that's where you thrive. That's where the team thrives. So you said opening days are not your favorite day.
It's my least favorite day.
So I'm just going to go on and assume that your favorite time of the year then would be mid-season when everything's just running.
100%. That's you are. That's the second really, really good observation you made. To me, that's the mark. It's easy to have energy in the beginning, and it's easy to have energy at the end. The people on the second and third lap of the mile, the people that are still grinding there, the people that are hanging with you there, the players that are still hanging with you them whenever you've lost 5 out of 6, and it's July.
Yeah.
And the opening day was a long time ago, and the end's a long time away. Those are the people that you can count on.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the way I feel about our locker room. That's the way I feel about the people here, and that's why – That's my source of pleasure with where the club's at right now.
And it kind of goes back to that ultimate competitor thing you were talking about how guys still want to compete even when they lost 5 or 6 in the middle of July. Yeah,
no question. And that's your process and your attention to your process shouldn't be dictated by outside circumstances. So I sound like Nick Saban saying that. I'll go ahead and at the risk of alienating the Auburn listeners out there, but that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to keep your head down, and you're trying to not let outside factors dictate what your attention is to what your daily process is.
Gotcha.
Opening day in baseball is about like a homecoming week for a football coach.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we talked to a lot of high school football coaches that really do not like homecoming.
It's the least favorite day of the year.
Yep.
And it's the same thing for a lot of times with prom with high school baseball coaches.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Any type of outside distraction takes you out of your rhythm, and the game's hard enough. Coaching high school football, playing high school football, playing high school baseball, the margins are tight. And it's hard enough without outside interference.
Yeah.
So any of that resistance on the bandwidth is going to be counterproductive. Whatever you can do to minimize that is going to help determine your success or failure.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking to head coach Andy Schatzly, Trash Pandas manager. Now, head coach, we're used to talking to football coaches. We would just call him the manager of the Trash Pandas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I want to get that correct before at least before we end.
I'll answer to head ball coach if you want.
Head ball coach, that's good.
I like head ball coach.
You got any of the kids calling you skipper or anything yet?
It's you get called a lot of things down there. It is not it's not a place for thin skin. It's not a place for thin skin down there. So skipper is kind of the norm. But like I said, it is professional baseball. It's not high school or college baseball. So those guys got to get a little more say. You got to have a little thicker skin down there than what you do. And I would imagine the interactions that we have down there are not completely the same as what Coach Saban has.
I would not.
I think you're saying
an accurate statement there. Ladies and gentlemen, Trash Pandas manager Andy Schatzly, and we're so glad you've joined us. Thank you for taking your valuable time to join us, bud.
Thank you guys for what you do for our players.
Nice to meet you. I've not got to a game yet this year, but it's on the way soon. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Customers agree there's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. Need custom screen printing or other promotional products? Got You Covered Screen Printing and More in Athens is, well, got you covered. Screen printing, promotional items, stickers, graphic design, vinyl for signs and garments, and other customized products. They also offer local pickup and delivery services, rush orders, volume discounts, and can customize any project to meet your needs. Got You Covered guarantees to get the job done and will work hard to make sure you're completely satisfied. Call today, 444-4500, or stop by and see them at 389 West Sanderford Road in Athens. Got You Covered Screen Printing and More. You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.